Hi, this is Kate from Izzalicious Designs. Today I'm going to do something that was asked for a very long time ago by somebody by the name of Rachel Lewis. We're going to do, or attempt to do, John Cena. I hope I've said his name right. I'm really not sure. I'm not all that au fait with wrestling, I have to admit. So we're going to do him. We're going to do him in some camo shorts, and we'll see how we go with a little baseball cap. So we're going to start with our single loom in an offset configuration, which means columns 1 and 3 will be slightly lower than column 2. The arrow is facing towards you, or the open part of the peg is facing towards you, and we're going to be double banding. Now, double banding means we take 2 bands and we place them across the pegs together as if they were one, and it gives us a firmer result, not such a floppy result. So we're going to start here with his baseball cap. We're just going to lay the bands here. Now the colours I'm using are black. I'm using a tan. It's a light coffee colour actually by Loom Bands. And then I'm also using the Camouflage colour as well from Rainbow Loom. So we're going to put these either side like this so that we can actually do the back of his head area. And we're going to put a little end cap or cap band. So take a single band, wrap it once and twice, and that's going to just pop here in the middle. Alright, now I'm going to move to the tan colour. It's, as I said, a light coffee, but he's quite a tanned chap, and the skin tone I had made him look like he'd been in Iceland for 10 years. So let's move down here. Now, I'm not doing hair for him because he's sort of got a buzz cut, and my first one I did, my prototype, I did hair on him and it looked really weird. I thought, oh no, I can't do that. So here we go. We're going to do his face first. Like this. I'm going to take a single one across here as a crossover band. I'm going to take another one. I'm going to twist once, twice and 3 times and place across here. Alright, and then, now I use a 2.75 crochet dude hook, which fits these mini pony beads down really nicely. These are the 4mm by 7mm mini pony beads. But if you don't have those, you can use bands. It really doesn't matter. But this threads on very nicely. It's funny, because this is the same size hook, 2.75, but it does not go down a bead for me at all. So, I guess different style hooks and whatnot. I'm going to stretch these across like that, and then I'm going to pop my hook in and grab the top part of that band and just lift it up above this peg here, so it acts as a crossover band. Now, one of the things we need to do, I'm going to just lift this band, these pair of bands off here. Alright, and before I even start, I'm going to go down beyond that end cap and grab the 2 black bands that are on the top and move them across to here, and I'm going to do the same for these 2 and go to the other side like that, and then I'm going to put these 2 skin tone bands back up here. Alright, so that's quite important. We need to do that. Alright, next I'm going to move down to the bottom half of my loom, and I'm going to make his arms and his legs, because he's got quite a big head because of his baseball cap. So we're not going to be able to fit them on, so they're sort of going to be extensions. So, to do his legs, and you probably need a holding hook of some sort, and if you don't have a hook that you can use, you could use a toothpick, you could use a chopstick. I mean, really, you can use anything just to hold onto, a pencil, anything. Let's take 2 bands, black bands. We're going to do his shoes first, and we're going to wrap them around a hook once and twice. And then you're going to slide that onto a pair of black bands, like this. Don't reclaim, okay? We're going to take another pair of black bands and wrap them once and twice, and now we're going to reclaim those bands, okay? We'll take another 2, and we're going to slide all of this on to these 2 bands. I do it in sections. I do the first 2, then I do the wrap band, and then I do the last 2. And now we're going to need 3 pair of the skin tone. So 1, and kind of make sure that they're in the middle, otherwise he's going to have lopsided legs. 2, and 3. Okay, we're going to do that again so that he's got another leg. So I'm going to pop this, I'm going to pinch. I pinch down here. Alright, I'm going to pinch that and I'm going to pop it on a holding hook like that. But as I said, if you've got a chopstick, a toothpick, paper clip, anything like that, just to hold it so it doesn't unravel. Another 2 black bands, wrap once and twice, slide onto a pair. Don't reclaim just yet. I'm going to take another couple, wrap once and twice, and now you're going to reclaim, and we'll slide this onto another pair of black bands like so. And now we do our 3 pair of skin tone. 1, 2, and 3. Again, make sure that they're evenly spaced. Now these are not Rainbow Loom bands, but Rainbow Loom do not do this colour. So even though Rainbow Loom are my preferred bands, sometimes I have to go to different brands just so that I can get a different colour. So there's my legs. Oh, not my legs, but his legs. So now we're going to make his hands. Take a single band, wrap it once and twice, and we'll slide this onto a pair of skin tone. Move down. I'm going to take a pair of black bands and slide these on. 1 and 2. Now before you reclaim this pair, you're going to take another single band and wrap it once and twice in the middle, and then reclaim these 2. Okay, and this gives a fuller looking armband, wristband. Then we'll take another 2 skin tone and slide these on bit by bit. So I do the first 2 loops, then I do the twisted band, and then I do the second 2 loops like that. We're going to do another pair of skin tone. Try and make it so that they're not twisted on each other, but that they are in the middle. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what we're going to do, and I shouldn't have actually reclaimed this, we'll take this one off. So we just have this pair on here. We're going to take a pair of bands and we will slide these 2 over and reclaim. And again, try and make it so that they're not twisted. Reclaim these 2 this side, and we'll put another pair on here like that and reclaim. I can see that these ones are twisted, so I'm just going to try and gently untwist. There we go. And now we're going to take another pair of skin tone and slide all of them on, and again try and just lift them over rather than push them over, so that they don't get too twisted on themselves. Alright, so this is one arm, okay, and we've got a bit of muscle happening here. So I'm going to pinch here so I don't lose these, and I'm going to change hooks and put them on just a holding hook, and we'll make another one. Okay, so again, single band, wrap once and twice, slide onto a pair of bands, reclaim a pair of black bands, slide on but do not reclaim, because you're going to take a single black band and wrap once and twice and then reclaim, and we'll slide all of this onto a pair of skin tone, move them up and over, up and over, and then reclaim another pair of skin tone. I don't like it when they get all twisted on each other. Up and over, up and over. Now we don't reclaim, we're going to take 2 more bands, a pair, and slide these this side on, make sure they're not twisted, reclaim and grab the other side, put that on, and we'll slide that onto a pair, up and over, and reclaim, and now we'll slide all of that onto a pair, oops, there we go. These are not Rainbow Loom bands, so they're a little trickier to work with, but sometimes when you can't get the colours you want, you have to make do. I'm going to pinch, take that off, and put on a holding hook with my other arm. So these are my 2 arms. So let's get cracking back onto his neck. Now the reason I haven't done hair at the back of his head here is because he has a buzz cut, and I did try it originally and it just looked really, really odd, so I thought no, we're not doing that. Alright, so down we go to his shoulders. We're going to come down, with our skin tone. He's going to have a bare chest like so. We're going to come down 1 more on the side here, each side. Now I'm using the Rainbow Loom Camouflage, so I'm literally just going to take 2 bands of different colours. I'm going to try not to use the skin tone actually. There's a sort of light beigey colour. I'm just going to try and use the darker colours for the pants. So I'm using, there's a brown and a green, and here's a black and a green, and here's another different pair. So I'm just using and we're going to come down 1 more on either side here. Whoops. Because he sort of wears longer shorts, doesn't he? You've probably got more of an idea than I do. There we go. Whoops. Runaway band. There we go. Let's do 2. Try and mix them up a bit. 2 from this side to here. And 2 from this side to here. And then we need an end cap, so I'm just going to use a dark green as an end cap, wrap it once and twice, and pop here. Now I'm going to take the dark brown and just put it across here, stretch it just across like that as a crossover band, okay? And then on these ones I'm going to take just another, I'll take a green and just stretch across. And on these ones we're also going to put his belt. So take a black band and just wrap it around your hook once, so it's like a figure 8. And we're going to pop that on these little pegs here where the skin tone meets what we've called his shorts. Okay, so we'll just pop these here. Now I realise that we're going to have to take that crossover band off to flip these down, but it's still important that they be on there. We're then going to take a skin tone and stretch it into a figure 8 and loop it on itself and move it across here for a skinnier waist, and then a single skin tone and stretch it across. We're not figure 8ing these ones. Okay, for his arms, let's move these back into there. You have these 2 arms. Normally we'd just put them on the one peg either side. We're not for these. What we're going to do is take the first 2 bands, 2 loops, and put them on the normal peg that we would do for arms by his shoulder. The other 2 are coming down to the peg below, and this will give his more of a bulk to him. And let's do the same on this side. The 2 bands go on this peg, and then the other 2, in this case, on the peg above. Push things down so you have a bit of room. Alright, the other thing is we've done his legs separately because they wouldn't have fit on the loom, so we can just take these off now and pop those at the end of his shorts. And it doesn't matter if you've angled the foot wrongly, because they've got the little pivot there, they can go either side, so that's fine. So let's pop his little legs on, and I'm just going to make sure that this band is not twisted. There we go. Alright, so we have legs, shorts, belt, body, we have arms, we have our head. Take these out of the way. The only thing we have to do is the peak to his little cap. Okay, so to do the cap, and we will do a bit of fancy footwork, we're going to take a single black band and wrap it once and twice, and we're going to slide onto 4 pair. So here's our first pair of black, second, third, and fourth. And then what we're going to do is take a single band and stretch it in figure 8, loop it on itself and pull it through and reclaim. Alright, now we'll pinch this. So there we go, make sure you have your 4 loops. Alright, and that will go over here when we're ready for it, but we're not ready just yet. Let's do a bit of looping up. So start down here. We're going to go past that green end cap, which I happen to have there. I don't know what colour yours will be, doesn't really matter. And loop to the side, and do the same for the other side. Push things down. You can do this middle one as well, so you don't forget it. Loop it up. Dig down past your legs and find those 2 camo bands and loop up. And the same on this side. Loop up. We're going to loop up to the groin area, to the hips. Now, at this stage, we're going to take this green band off. I have it there because I don't want to forget to put a band there. That's important. So dig down. You're going to find the 2 camouflage bands, link them up and up. Now, I'm going to dig down. You've got your 2 top loops here, the 2 bottom loops here. Ignore the skin tone. You're going to push under those bottom 2 loops and grab the black band, pull your hook around to the back side and pull it forward. Okay, I'm just untwisting my bands. Let's do the same for this side and pull it forward, and we need to do the same for the middle one. So let's loop this up, and again push your hook through, grab the black band. Try and be careful not to grab the bands above. The middle one I always find the hardest. There we go. Now we have to put our little green band back, and you're wanting to put it back in between, so you've got the 2 bottom loops here of the camo band and the 2 top loops. We want to lift those 2 top loops and put the band back and replace, and the same with these 2. Lift the 2 top loops and replace. And then again on this side, lift the 2 top and replace like so. Otherwise you're going to have a big gap there. Let's loop up the rest of our man's body. and you're looking for these teardrop shapes. They're important, okay, because they're a visual indicator that you have actually looped things in, and if you haven't, oh, it's going to look awful. Now the other thing I did was I took the top 2 loops off my arm, held them out to one side, looped up like that, and then put these 2 top loops back. I just didn't want it, I just felt it looked better. I felt that the bands didn't go across the arms as much. So I took them off to one side, looped up, and then put these back. Let's loop up the centre. You're going to do the arms on this side. Make sure you've got both loops. And the arm on this side. And then we have to do the centre of the throat up to the neck. Push things down. Dig down till you find those 2 bottom bands. One side and the other side. Loop up. Eyes. Now you mustn't forget, I'm just going to untwist these. Twisted bands on the face are horrible looking, so try and make sure they're not twisted. Don't forget to do the centre, okay, and up here as well. Now we're going to go up to here, alright, and then we'll do these 2 black bands on either side, if I can get them both. I can get one, there we go, there's the other. Loop these up like so. Now what we're going to do, this is where our fiddly footwork comes in. Take your holding hook with the loop on. You're going to make sure that you've got your loop on your hook first. Take both loops off your peg for the hat, and you're going to slide through the bands, that little tie-off band that you had there. You're going to slide it through so that it's sitting on those. Then you're going to put your hook through the end cap on this side and do the same. Take this off, and it's trickier doing it this way. Slide it through, okay, and put that back so that this is sitting up like that. Okay, we're going to take the left side and loop in, the right side and loop in. Now I used an orange band for like the emblem on his hat. You could use a different colour, it doesn't really matter. So take a single band, wrap it once and twice. Again, try not to twist it. You need to pull down the peak of his cap because that last band is just in here. Alright, so lift it up, slide your band down and then loop it to the top there. 2 black bands to tie off with. Push your hook all the way down and out through the side here. Grab those 2 black bands and pull back through, and we'll tie off at the back here, one over the other, and pull nice and tight. I use the back of a hook to try and ease this off gently, because the last thing I want to happen is for my bands to snap after I've already put everything on the loom. That's not fun. So gently ease your figure off the loom. There we go, easy does it. You need to stretch him out a little bit. Make sure the emblem is not too twisted. Have the twist at the back of his baseball cap. I had his arms, I pulled his arms up and out because he does quite a bit of the posing with his arms, doesn't he? His muscle posing. There we go. Now at the back here, you're going to take these 2 tie-off bands and gently push your hook through the back bands here and pull them, I should say, not it, down so that you can hide them between some of these bands that are already here, so that it's discreetly captured and not... I mean, I hate using C-clips on the back of my figures, so I really don't want to use a C-clip. Just ease these bands up a little bit so that they're not too loose. So that's the back of his hat, like that. I'm going to spread those out a bit like that. So that's the back of his hat. That's the back of him. There we go. There he is, posing, looking like a thing. Now, the other thing he has is he has like a dog tag, doesn't he, around his neck. So to do his little dog tag, you're going to take a single black band, stretch it and put it over his neck like this. And then we're going to make a little knot with another black band. So I tend to use my loom to do this. Push your band between 2 pegs and do a figure 8 like that. Then you're going to take it and stretch it out further and do another figure 8 outside of the pegs and loop that back over the 2 pegs. Then you're going to take the bottom 2 sides and lift one side over and then go through the second one and pull that over too, and that gives you this little knot. Okay, take the knot off your loom. There's your little knot on your band like this. Okay, take the knot off your loom. I'm going to go through his chest. I'm going to grab one side of the knot, all right, and pull it through, and then I'm going to keep it on my hook. There we go. Go through another part here. Grab the band that is supposed to be his necklace, put the other side of the loop on and pull that back, okay, so that it's in the center here, and I have the 2 little loops here. Now I've actually gone through the same hole. That's not really going to matter, because what I'm going to do is push my hook through a skin tone band at the back with another skin tone band. I'm just going to tie off in a slip knot like that. Now I'm going to make sure that that doesn't come through. I'm going to keep that at the front like this so that you can't really see it at the back, and then I'm going to gently weave the tie-off band back through some of these bands at the back of him here like that, so you can't see that. So that's how I did his little dog tag. Now, I mean, this little figure can work for an army man or anything like that as well. You could just put a little shirt on him instead of a bare chest. Make sure that his emblem is visible on the top of his little baseball cap. And there we have our little wrestler, John Cena. I hope you enjoyed making him. Take care, and thank you for your patience, Rachel. Bye.